I knew you'd be the first one here, Finn.
I always am, aren't I?
Yeah. Did you take the exam yesterday?
Did.
Oh, how'd it go?
Doing okay. Um, Sort of rough because the second question was fluids,
Oh,
and the first question I forgot I forgot if negative work or it was positive work. I couldn't really remember, but we'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense that they would only test you on two topics
Yeah,
after years of work.
it's lucky. I think Luke got like the two of the easier topics.
Oh,
Oh, okay. You don't gotta throw shade at your friend.
I'm not throwing shade at him.
no, he's saying he's lucky. How's that throwing shade at him?
I don't know. But I think one very important thing was that like our whole physics course was defined by two questions, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. No,
That's what I told Luke. Is like even if he said he thought he did he thought he messed up on like turning one in. It was like even if you get a bad score, it's not like a good reflection of the course.
Yeah.
And
No.
it really you're gonna have to retake it in college anyways. Like
Yeah. Well, if you're doing engineering, you'll take a calculus-based course. Um,
I was like so hyperactive afterwards. I actually
Yeah.
stayed up for so many hours. I was just like,
oh, yeah, it can be really tough to like be that amped and then be like, okay, gotta go to bed now.
it just doesn't work that way. Like
Yeah.
I came out of it and I was just like, I don't know what to do now. Like
Yeah, you just want to pace, and there's so much wrong with it too. As Finn was saying, like two questions. It doesn't really feel like a final exam. It
yeah.
feels more like taking a lottery.
what was interesting, what I guess I should have um, anticipated was how long each question is. It's like each question is like 8 parts. It's like
Well, it's
there's no
because they're
possible
also
way you can do that in 30 minutes, but
well.
I guess it is a good judge of how fast people can do it.
I don't know. I'm not sure that Williston does a great job of preparing us for that.
I agree with that.
I can tell you that I've tried to like get the honors kids to do things faster, and I have gotten yelled at by administration. So
What? That doesn't make sense.
it's just a choice that Williston has made, not me. I didn't make that choice.
I feel like
So I heard that you got all the easy questions, Luke.
I don't specifically think they were easy questions, but I mean, I might have honestly, Dr. Schmidt, I might have screwed up by accidentally submitting something other than the physics problem. Like, I might have accidentally sent in
your English homework or something.
No, my BC calculus, my AP BC calculus exam. And honestly that would fail me. Like that would actually make me so sad, but I don't really want to retake the test. And I'm pretty sure like I got relatively good answers, so like wait, what else, what did other people have?
We had a group chat afterwards, Luke.
Yeah, where were you, Luke?
Yeah, but my phone died.
Oh, okay. It was on Snapchat.
You had a group chat?
Yeah, it was on Snapchat.
Wow.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind. Yeah, sorry.
I'm learning who the cool kids are and who the left out kids are.
I am one of the cool kids.
I mean, yeah.
Wait,
What can I
what kind of
say?
questions do you guys have then?
I had one on like electromagnetism and electrostatics, and the other
Yeah.
one
Wait, did you have
thermodynamics.
did you have the one with the plates and then it goes into the magnetic field?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
kinda like
mine.
that. We probably had
mine.
different numbers though. But
It was
Wait.
like for the first few questions I had no idea. And then I
I
was
had
like
fluids. Of course, the one unit that I failed.
Finn, we've been with you all year. We know you're just complaining. You did great. Let's stop the act for one day, okay?
yeah, and we know you suck already. I just like if I submitted the right thing for the first question, I'll be all right. But like if I actually didn't, that's gonna be really bad. And
Wait, what happened?
what? I was for some reason rushing, even though there were like 3 minutes left on the timer, because the last test I had, I screwed up.
wait, you say 3 minutes left, as in 3 minutes before the 5 minutes to submit, or just 3 minutes?
Oh, just 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that was done.
But like I might have accidentally selected the wrong thing to submit.
If we ever do this in the future, God forbid, I guess I'll add to my list of advice that 5 minutes is an eternity. You don't have to rush. You just have to calmly make sure that everything's right.
Well, I mean
But now I get it.
I was coming from like a place where
Yeah, I understand.
I didn't like the 5 minutes.
No, it feels like not a lot of time, but it's an eternity. It is a very long amount of time.
Yeah.
Ryder,
I
didn't
mean,
you put it in at 30 seconds?
What?
Well, yeah, for my calc exam, I had 30 seconds to spare. But yeah, I got it up.
Right. Okay. Well, not bad. I was able to like get to each question, but I didn't have enough time to think everything through.
I agree
But-
with that.
Right. I don't know how much of like how thoroughly I thought it through. I'm pretty sure I lost a couple of points just because I rushed through it. Like I don't know. It's not
That's
enough
great.
time.
But then Fisa, it's great because that you're learning the strategy of these stupid time tests. Like, I mean, I
So
understand
how many
your
points do you have to get a 5?
somewhere between 60 to 70%.
Okay.
So like
So-
it's like 50% is still pass, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping to get above 50%. So
So it's like a 40% pass. Like
I don't know.
so 17 is a 5.
Yeah, somewhere around there, 16, 17. Out of 22, I think.
Out of 22. Wasn't it 20? Oh yeah, it was 22.
I think there's
yeah,
a
that's
10-point
right.
problem and a 12-point problem. At least that's what I was led to believe.
Right. Yeah. Uh, it was fast.
Fast.
Also, I didn't have like a single problem with design and experiment thing. Like
Really?
nothing.
No. It was all really
That's the paragraph
small.
answer responses I didn't even get to do.
Wow. I wonder, did anybody have a design and experiment problem? No? Oh, drat. I failed in my prediction.
Oh,
It
well.
was actually a lot more math than we were anticipating.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, really?
For me, it wasn't. It was more.
Yeah, for me,
it was like
I had
was
zero
only
math.
theory.
Design, or think of it.
I had one
equation.
question. That was like an equation.
Huh.
I would prefer more math, but I had like 0 problems on math.
Me too. I had no problems on that.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough.
Huh. That's dumb because then I don't know. But take a deep breath.
Yeah, I mean,
We're over.
at this
Fine.
point, like we can do nothing like
over.
till mid-July, right? Mid-July.
Is that the makeup test in mid-July?
No.
No,
No,
it's
that's when you
The
get your
score
scores
release
back.
date.
That's when you get your scores back. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's an experience. Right. So did you feel, prepared or unprepared or?
I
Both.
felt much more prepared than I thought I would be. So
Okay. That's
That's
the
Yeah.
answer we're looking for. It's
I thought
okay
it
if you didn't feel that way. Half
I
prepared.
felt prepared when I started reading the question, but when I started answering it, I felt unprepared. So very.
Okay. Well, that's one of the biggest things that feeling prepared does for you, though, is that it gets you started, keeps you confident and focused on the question instead of being like, oh my God, what's it saying? What's going on? I only have 25 minutes left. I'm going to fail. Like, if you just stop and pause and tackle each question in turn and don't think those unhelpful thoughts, so easy to do, not, but then you do a lot better.
I was very happy at the second question that I got.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Well, it's very interesting times we live in. I'm glad that we felt prepared. So I just like to hear how it went. That's great. I'm still really confident. I think her scores are going to be high. So I'll keep my fingers up, crossed.
Let's go with that.
But if they're not, oh well. doesn't mean anything. I put together a little survey for you folks if you're interested in telling me. So I don't know if I'm deeply afraid that I'm going to have to do online classes in the fall. I don't know for sure what's going to happen. I don't think anybody does. So I have two minds here. One part of me thinks that the United States is just going to throw a revolt and refuse to believe the scientists. Not like they've ever done that before. And just, blithely go around their business without any changes by the fall. So part of me thinks that. And part of me thinks that things are going to get a lot worse once we start moving around, and that's going to lead to massive changes of some sort. So since education can be done online, they may force us to do so, they being the government and other societal pressures. So anyhow, if I should ever have to do this again, I would like some feedback on how to do this better. So like how to do this awful thing
Like
better.
AP prep better or like online classes
Mostly
better?
online classes, but if you have anything to say about AP prep, that would be helpful too. But I don't really know if AP prep is relevant because this exam was really weird.
Let's just hope that next year's exam will be in different format. Like,
yeah.
well, who knows? But let's hope it's not.
Even if they have to do it online, I still think that 45 minutes is deeply unfair. But I don't know. I mean, all their stats will probably show it is fair, but unfairness can be unfair to individuals while being fair across populations. So yeah. So anyhow, I'm interested if you have anything to tell me about online classes. Now, on this survey, I put something that you tell me something that you thought worked about online classes and something that you thought didn't work about this online class in particular. That I said, something that you would change. And then I'm particularly interested if there's anything in other classes that you really liked, because I have no information about other classes at all. You folks experience a lot more other classes than I do. So if you know of any good things that happened in other classes, let me know. And also, I guess, I just put this survey together. I'm not great at making surveys, so it's really vague. Okay, so I put it in the chat, and then I also put it into the OneNote, which I'll show you. So in the miscellaneous extra stuff tab, there's an online classes survey. So if you wouldn't mind telling me a few things, something that you like, something that you didn't like. This is, I have no real way of tracking this back to you. So you can say whatever you want to say. I mean, I guess in theory, I could track your IP address back to you somehow. So, but I don't know how to do that for starters. And also, I'm not going to.
Yeah, you can just fish it like just by letting us click a link and then yeah.
Well, yeah. So this could all be a fake link.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind my Surface's IP address being leaked, honestly.
I'm just saying that in theory, I could track you back to something, but I'm not going to. And there's nothing easily. I would still require more computer science know-how than I really know. But there's interesting questions out there, like online voting. Is it possible to make a cryptography question? Is it possible to make a system where you know that somebody has voted, but you don't know who they voted for? Right.
Like,
so
if you do online voting, then you basically make it so that only anyone who has a computer or a phone can vote.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm not like, yeah, there's absolutely economic and social realities to that. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case. That's a good thing to do, but there's problems with all voting systems, like voting on Tuesdays instead of Saturdays, for example, makes it harder on people who have jobs on Tuesdays. But I'm just saying that the cryptography question interests me. Is it possible to be like sure that Finn voted and it was Finn? Like I know it was Finn because he has his private key, but I don't know what he's voted. Okay, I think most people have submitted. There's still a couple of you maybe still working. I don't know. But we're getting near the end here. Give you a couple more minutes to finish up. Okay, so interesting responses. I think I love doing these surveys because it's always very contradictory. Yeah, somebody likes one thing and somebody else hates it, which is always the case. So there's definitely a lot of people who thought that the breakout rooms were helpful, and then some people said they hated the breakout rooms. Understandable. I understand both points of view. I think one thing that's going to make this a lot harder in the fall is that we already sort of knew each other beforehand. And my reports from people, has anybody had a class that just started this spring? Yeah?
I did.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about your experiences there?
I mean, I had app programming, so it wasn't like, and Mr. Pogue really like split it up because a lot of people were international. So I have almost no idea who else is in my class except
So
for
you were like the only person going to the daytime classes?
yeah. One of the only people.
Yeah.
Mr. Pogue offered like really convenient times for Asians. Like he has classes at 6:30 a.m. because he wakes up at like 5. So which is really convenient for me, and like he says that he does it all the time. But yeah, that's just a gift.
I have like 2 times that if I miss them, I'll have to wake up at like 7:30 to get to class, which actually isn't that bad.
Oh, 7:30. Wow. So
But like I don't know. I like to sleep in.
But like that's also the Asian time zone time, right? Like he also has a program in the afternoon, I believe.
Yeah. So like he has stuff, or he has the app programming in the afternoon on green Thursdays and blue Tuesdays.
But I mean, app programming is mostly like project based, is it? Or like
yeah. It's fine, honestly. Like it's actually pretty helpful because I can focus a little bit more on the stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that I don't know. I mean, you can speak otherwise, but I didn't notice anybody missing class really. So, well, yeah, but you came to all the evening classes,
right?
Which
for the first 2 classes.
Which I guess were not that obnoxious. I mean, they were hard obnoxious because but they were in the morning for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how scheduling online classes is going to work in the fall if they go that way. I can see it kind of going multiple ways. I mean, it's really difficult to keep scheduling all the extra classes forever. I mean, obviously it was the thing to do in the spring. I'm just not sure if it's going to keep doing that way forever. But I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm literally not planning anything because I think it's pointless to plan right now.
I mean, honestly, I might just flip like day and night.
Yeah.
just become nocturnal.
Yeah. Which is really, really tough on your social life, which is why, I mean, there's all kinds of studies that people who do that have health problems eventually. Not usually so much when they're young, but if you keep doing it for, if you work the night shift at the factory for 20, 30 years, those people generally have poorer health.
Well, I mean,
but and people do all kinds of crazy things. I mean, the people in West Virginia would go into the mines and live to 40, had a life expectancy of 40, and they just did that generation after generation. It's just what they did. And of course, there's countless examples in other countries as well. I'm just familiar with that one because that's my cultural bias. But
did people suggest any interesting ways to make this class more engaging, like for the last question?
The favorite thing that helps you learn in other classes?
Yeah.
I think maybe more like this would fit well in this class, especially not sort of less reviewy kind of thing, but a problem that you all work on and then for a little bit and then review it in smaller groups. So like get 10 minutes to work on a problem and then start reviewing it. I think probably more quizzes. I mean, the homework thing was kind of half experiment and half reaction to the situation. And I don't know if making the class, like one thing I think about a lot is like the entire class was just homework, right? There was no tests, there was no quizzes, there was no projects, there wasn't anything else. And I honestly don't know if that was helpful, like in terms of helping people to learn. Was that good, or should there have been more tests and quizzes? Like, do tests really help you to learn, I guess is my question.
Well, from my experience, like in bio, like we do a lot of tests, but like it's basically like using Google to get the answer. But I mean, it's a good way to learn, to be honest.
Okay.
You spend like hours Googling answers, and you definitely remember like 80 or 70% of the thing that you should know.
Yeah, so I guess it's like impossible to eliminate the idea of at least someone cheating. So maybe if you did like take-home tests where they're just incredibly long.
Yeah, gay.
I don't know if long take-home tests would be very helpful, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe you have the entire week to do long take-home tests.
Yeah, so when you're in college, if the teacher ever asks you, do you want to do an in-class test or a take-home test? You say in class. All right? The take-home tests that they give you are just brutal. So long, so much work. Like, not easy.
Or I feel like a project would be better because you have to use your knowledge of the unit to do your own project. So in that way, you kind of utilize what you learn on when you have to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what you could do.
You're doing a project now, right?
We can do one for each unit instead of one on the whole 7 or 8 chapters.
I mean, we did labs,
in your office.
technically were projects, right?
Yeah. So, how did you folks feel about the lab reports? I mean, I know that you hate them, but did they help you learn?
They do. They push me to think more.
Yeah,
I hate them so much, but
I'm honestly not really sure whether they help me or not.
Yeah. Fair
It
enough.
helped me because now I know what an actual lab report is supposed to be like.
Oh, sort of. I mean, in that direction, not really. Almost like. One of my college classes did a lab report where it's just like all about the language. You just had to write it in the right language. Just obnoxious. So a lot of science writing is supposed to be done in the passive past perfect, which is a language style that nobody uses in real life at all. And so it can take a little bit to learn how to write that way.
I think the labs are helpful in like I guess questioning how you're supposed to like the design a project, I guess, aspect. Because I think the graphs were helpful.
I don't know why they took out all the design and experiment questions.
I was so ready for them, and then they never came up.
That's
I would prefer
weird.
design experiment one instead of explaining every single theoretical one. Like, I couldn't get a single easy point. Like, all of them were tough.
Right.
Same.
You couldn't just be like, best fit line.
Yeah. And there were like 7 of them. Like 7 of like explain your like justify.
Yeah, you can't write 7 paragraphs. That's insane.
Yeah, I know, but like.
So you got to write like 2 sentences to explain.
Right, but you still need to like apply all the necessary physics principles to explain your answer. Like they have the sentence in every single question. How am I supposed to know what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear? Maybe I wrote a paragraph and I won't get any points because I just didn't hit the points that they are applying.
Yeah.
Like, just, yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
I mean, like, what's done cannot be undone. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's a
Go back in
conclusion to our
time.
Oh,
I mean, if we can go back in time, I'm pretty sure we deserve a 5 in the AP physics test.
Well, if you invent time travel, you deserve a 5, yes?
Yeah, like, no doubt. But honestly, if I invented time travel, I wouldn't tell anyone. Like, just keep the advantages of it to myself. Like, honestly, why would I tell the world?
Have you folks seen Primer? Obscure film.
No.
Time travel or something?
Yeah, it's a time travel film, but it's really good for many reasons. One of which is that it's one of the most, like films are designed to capture a feeling. Like a lot of times they're not accurate, but they're trying to capture a feeling. And Primer is one of the few movies that I've ever watched where as I was watching it, I was like, yes, they have captured the feeling of doing research. And maybe it's only for somebody who's actually done research in the past. Was they able to do that? I don't know. I haven't really, talked to somebody who saw it and then before they started to do research and then did it afterwards. But it is a really good movie that captures the feeling of doing research.
Okay. Do you like the develop the theory path of like hypothesis, then like experiment and that loop, right?
No, that's fake.
Okay, sure.
That doesn't have anything to do with real science.
Glad we asked.
Yeah.
So what's our plan for like the project thing that
yeah, let me get to that in a second. Okay, so before I do that, I have an XKCD comic to show you. Very important. Okay, so here is mini movies. Okay, so these are some movies. Okay, the horizontal axis is time, and the vertical grouping of the lines indicates which characters are together at a given time. So like here's the Lord of the Rings. You know, you got Merry, Pippin, Sam, Frodo, and Bilbo, and Bilbo goes away and comes back at the Council of Elrond, and so you know it's all very typical, right? But it's cool to look at this chart. Okay, and we got Star Wars. You know, Darth Vader runs around. He has a duel with Obi-Wan. You know, and all that kind of fun stuff. We got Jurassic Park. All right, another fun thing. Then we got 12 Angry Men. That's one of my favorites. 12 people all together at the same time. And then we got Primer. Sorry, if you've ever seen the movie, it's hilarious. All right.
Okay.
But this is Primer. This is the movie. Okay. Did you ever watch Memento?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. So Memento has a very, very clear structure, actually, once you figure it out. It's very odd. Like the structure is very orderly. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ryder? I don't want to ruin. I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. It's a really good movie, but especially if you like structure, because it plays with storytelling structure in a really interesting way. But the structure is very orderly once you figure it out, and they do things to really help you clue in. Isn't like half of it in black and white and half of it is in color? Yeah. So that's a clue that helps you to figure out the structure. Primer. Just like it's just nuts. Okay, so if you are a senior, and you want to do this little project, then I absolutely need it in by Wednesday morning. Okay, and unfortunately that's our next class. But I'm pretty sure they're going to tell me that grades are going to be due for seniors like on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning. Probably Thursday morning. Okay, so I need that in by Wednesday morning. Okay, so by the end of class. If you happen to finish it early and you want to email me to go look at it, that's okay too. So what I would do is I would go and look at either Khan Academy or the extra lectures that they did on the YouTube, and I would take a couple pages of notes on either Unit 6 or 7. I would write them up as if I was trying to teach somebody else it, and then I would make up a few questions as if I was trying to make somebody a quiz. Okay, that's the assignment. Any questions about how that works or what needs to be done?
When we're making, you say we should make the questions,
Mhm.
or should we? Would you think it'd be better if we like looked up some questions online, not necessarily the AP ones, and answered those ones, or do you think it'd be better if we made questions?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, okay. So I mean, yeah, you can look them up online if you want to, or make them. What I really just don't want to see is there were some homework assignments which were sort of like, oh, I accidentally hit all of the points in the answer statement in order. There's only like a word between them. I don't want to see that for this extra project. I mean, I wasn't going to make a big deal about it with the homework because it's obnoxious and you know, I can't prove that anything was going on, but it was definitely not what was intended for you to go and look up the answers and then copy them.
Wait, so for the 5 questions we're making, or we might make that? Or
I just want you to do 5 questions and answers, but I don't want you to go on the internet and then copy the answers.
okay.
At least not for the extra project.
Can we do something like more creative than just
Sure.
solving?
Yeah, I think Finn is
Yeah,
doing RC boats. Right, Finn?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that's actually doable, yet more creative than just solving problems.
I know it's not easy. I actually hate doing projects. So I appreciate when people said doing projects would be fun. I sort of agree, but I personally am not good at making them. They usually tend to be too vague. Like this project is probably too vague and open-ended. I know that. The intent is just to make sure that, I think my intent is if you're going to pass with honors, you should do something a little bit extra. Right? Not just what was asked of you. Okay. So if you keep the intent in mind, it should be fine.
All right.
Okay, so and like I said, if you want to pass with honors, you should show up on Wednesday. I guess if you're a senior, grades will already be in by Friday. So
Yeah.
there's that. But my plan for Wednesday is to talk about some, extra fun physics things. So I was going to talk about special relativity, dark matter, dark energy, maybe absolute zero, and why if you can go to absolute zero, it means that you can time travel. Which is why you can't go to absolute zero, presumably. So, I just thought I would talk about some fun things like that on Wednesday.
Awesome. When is that class? Is that the one that I'm missing?
Oh, maybe. That's at 9:40.
So that is at 11:40 for me.
Yeah. But I'll do the same thing in the evening class.
Okay. So
I'm not
you will
planning
still
on.
be having evening classes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. For the extra project, do you recommend watching several videos about the specific topics?
Whatever helps you to write 2 pages of instruction, like pretend like you're writing a textbook to somebody else. So you're like, this is what I've learned.
Okay.
So if multiple videos help you to do that, then by all means.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the project, is there like a written work or can we use like a video to present it?
You can do a video. So I said you can make a 5-minute video, I think I said. Yeah, so you can either do 2 pages of a textbook or at least a 5-minute video.
Okay.
All right. I'm not sure how the best to get the video to me. Probably you want to put it in OneDrive and then send me the link to download it. I don't think you want to put the video into OneNote, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I also don't know, like, if you're doing an extra project, you have to email me when you're done, because OneNote doesn't tell me to go look at anything. I'm not going to go paging through like 80 pages of stuff looking for your project if I don't know it's there.
Would you want us to email the topics that we want to do before we start doing it?
No, you can, unless you're going to do something strange like boats.
Like creative things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right. So if you want to do something that's not unit 6 or 7, I'll definitely listen to your project, but you might want to ask me ahead of time. Okay. All right. I don't really have anything more to say. We'll, like I said, next class we'll do some fun physics things, and I don't know if that will be our, like seniors don't have to come on Friday the 22nd because grades will already have been in. I mean, I'll be here, but I don't know how many of you are going to show up. So 20th may be our last like actual class. Like I said, I'll do some interesting physics things, weird physics.
So the 20th is the day when seniors get their grades and we have our last
I
class.
think they haven't actually told me, but assuming, so this is what they told me at the beginning of the year. They told me that seniors' grades were due by Thursday by 4 p.m. So Thursday the 21st by 4 p.m. is what they told me at the beginning of the year. And they have not communicated anything different to me.
Interesting.
Okay. So I am basing my planning on that. Now it would be very Williston to show up, to email me something and saying they're changing things.
Oh, well. But then you won't be the only person affected.
Yeah. So assuming if they do that, I will, let you know. But my plan is that senior grades are due by then. And so meeting on Friday morning seems kind of silly.
Right.
I
mean, if anything changes, right, you can just
Yeah.
send us an email
Yeah.
in advance, so.
Okie dokie. Oh, and if you don't want to pass with honors, then you can also don't have to show up anymore. Right? Assuming that you're passing. So if you just want to go off into the distance, then you should do that.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right, folks. Thanks so much. I think I still feel really confident about this exam. I think we did well. So, all right. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Dr. Schmidt.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Dr. Schmidt, can I
Yeah.
ask you some questions about forces, or
Sure.
not like the things we learned, but like vectors?
Okay.
Can you explain to me how vectors or forces are related?
Well, forces are so vectors is just a type of number. Okay?
Yeah, I can show you something that I'm working on right now, but
Okay.
it's basically a book. I'm gonna share my screen. It's here. It's a 700-page book that I have to finish reading to do my research. So it has things like this, which are so different from what I learned in honors physics, because we did not really deal with vectors given like the age we were in and the math level that we took.
We did some. We did.
Yeah, we did the
We
components.
definitely laid the groundwork. I don't think you're going to find this too confusing.
Yeah, so just, I don't know, it's just so interesting that we can do it in like a 3-dimensional way.
So
Like-
is your question about how to do vectors in 3 dimensions?
Yeah,
Okay. So what you have to do is make triangles. Okay, so let's take that one that you have up right now. Okay, the radio antenna. Let's zoom in on that a little bit.
this one?
Yeah. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to decompose all of these vectors into either x, y, or z. So every vector can be made up of 3 components: an x component, a y component, and a z component. Okay, and you can do that by making a bunch of triangles. So what you do first, let's take this chord from A to B. Okay, so you have a line right here. Okay, so this right here would be your first triangle.
Did you annotate on it? Oh yeah, I saw it.
Okay, and that's going to help you to find I think it's the K. I think K is Z. It's been a while since I've done this, right? I, J,
Yeah,
and K.
same.
K is Z, I think.
Yeah,
So this will give you your K hat vector by using SOHCAHTOA on this triangle.
yeah.
Okay, but then it will also give you a link here for this line segment here. I'm going to do an orange. Okay, so you can get a link for that line segment.
The one, oh yeah, this one. And this would be the hypotenuse for the X and Y.
Right, so that'll be a hypotenuse then of a new triangle with a right triangle. And then you have a 60-degree angle identified. So then again, you can use SOHCAHTOA to get this, which I think is I. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you're doing this for your summer research?
Yeah, it's for, yeah, a summer research program. So I have to figure out, yeah.
Okay, so that's all you do for 3 dimensions. You just use SOHCAHTOA and you break things into components. And to keep yourself organized, I would just set everything in terms of your initial coordinate system. So X, Y, and Z with I hat, J hat, and K hat.
So like just decompose the forces and make them 2 dimensions. Like do it one time after another.
Decompose everything into the 3 dimensions and then add them all back together. Just so then you can add all the K hats together. So you have 3 K hats. You have AD, you have AC and AD. Right? Those each one of those has a vertical component to it. And you can add all 3 of them together to get your final vertical component.
And then, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And because they're like vectors, so they have direction, so opposite direction, they cancel out.
Yes.
And we like subtract one.
But for the radio antenna, all the vertical ones are going to be pointing down.
Yeah.
Because the tension is pulling it down.
Yeah.
But the I hat and the J hat, you are definitely going to have to keep track of sign. And again, we did this a lot in honors where we really stressed that sign is just direction. So make left negative and then make like into the page negative. The only difference is that now you have into the page in addition to left and right.
Yeah, that's true, because we have 3 axes.
But if you've really mastered the 2D and the SOHCAHTOA, adding a 3rd dimension really isn't that tricky.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think I just have to like work on it and know how to do it.
Now adding a 4th dimension, that gets tricky.
How do you add a 4th dimension?
You can't draw it, so it all becomes very abstract.
Yeah.
right?
So
And
cool.
so you just use a lot of. I think it's helpful to know linear algebra at that point.
Oh, so like something that's in BC calc.
Yeah, you keep track of everything in matrices instead of actual numbers. But a matrix
So,
is
like,
just a way to keep track of I, J, and K. So you can keep track of I, J, and K all at once in one number in a matrix. That's all a matrix really is.
So like there isn't any like visual representation, but it's just like a bunch of adding numbers and matrices.
Yeah.
That's not fun. It's not as fun. But yeah, that was basically what I have. Thank you, Dr. Schmidt.
Okay, sounds fun.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm excited for the project. I'll think about it today and then I'll let you know if I have any questions. But,
okay, well you can have a little bit more time too. It's only for seniors.
Yeah.
You can have like another week.
I'm excited. Andy, do you have any questions? I'm sorry that I was kind of.
Dr. Schmidt, so about like doing AP questions, how many are we like supposed to do for like?
Oh, just like five to make a quiz, just like 5 sub questions, like A, B, C, D, E.
Just like maybe just like a big free response with like 5 sub questions.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
That's fine.
So
I really don't, and I don't think you did this, but I really don't want to see somebody copying the answer key.
Right.
Because it upsets me.
Cool. I mean, like, are we creating questions or like finding questions?
You can find them as long as you solve them yourself.
Okay. Just go to like 2016 AP Physics 2 and then just look at them.
Yeah, find something.
Cool. Okay.
I'm excited for the project.
Yeah.
I wish I can do two separate projects on 2 different units because I have a lot of time recently, but I'll try to do it. I'm excited.
I'm sure somebody in the class, just send them a message and they'll hire you to do their project for them.
Actually, oh my God, I would get paid. I'm excited.
Don't do that.
I'm not, definitely not. Yeah, but bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Hey, Dr. Schmidt, what are we gonna do like next class on Wednesday? You said.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about fun physics things. So like special relativity. So like why does time get slower when you start moving faster? Things like that.
Okay. Cool. I also have another question about like my test. So, I mean my AP test.
Okay.
So so I have like a very big question, which is ask like the charge on 3 capacitor, which I need to like first calculate the voltage and then do all the like equation thing. And then for some reason I got like in the beginning I got V over 2 instead of V, so I got all the answers after that half of the original answer. So are they gonna like just say my question is wrong, or are they just gonna?
No, they should. They're supposed to follow all of your work. And if you do something like that, they're supposed to just take the first point and give you all the rest of the points.
Okay, cool. I changed it at the last second and I just realized how dumb I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.